Good morning, y'all. Welcome to another video on the Luderco Arms channel. So this is a follow-up video to when I bought this string trimmer. It's a Husqvarna, and I know some of y'all are going to say I say that wrong, but that's the way I've always said it, so tough. 122LK straight shaft trimmer, which I bought several months ago at the beginning of grass cutting season. And we're not quite to the end of grass cutting season, but we're getting there. And we've used this several times cutting grass. So I'm going to give you an update on how I think about it. And also we're going to swap out the tap and go head that came on it for one of those easy load heads. Show you that here in a second. Looks like this is what we're going to be putting on there. I got it off of, it came from Amazon. It is a X004J3WWAL, and what this is it's one of those heads where you stick the string through to its middle point and spin it to load the head up, so you don't have to take it apart and wrap the trimmer string around the head like you do with the standard ones. We're going to see how it works. Hopefully it'll be good. But this thing, I also bought a whole box of the pre-cut trimmer strings that go to this, and then once I get down to the last one or two of these, I'll save one and use it as a template to just cut standard bulk trimmer string out to the right length to work with this. So the way this thing is supposed to work, comes with some string. So this is the new trimmer head, and the way this is supposed to work is you stick the string through here, and then it's got a marking on it for the midpoint, so you get the midpoint there, and then you spin this and it reels the string up inside there. Comes with a bunch of adapters and some instructions. So we'll get to that here in a second, but first let's talk about the trimmer. So I've been using this for several months now, and it works good. I have no major issues with it. I mean, every time I use it, it starts right up and it does the job that I want it to. But there are a couple of things about it that I kind of don't like. So number one, the fuel tank on it is very small. It does not hold a lot of gas, and when I do my yard, and my yard is 2 acres and there's tons of stuff to trim around, because we're standing at the shop here, you can't even see the house from here. If you go over here, there's the feed shed, and there's one goat pen there that the tree fell on during the hurricane, so we don't use it anymore. And then here's the other goat pen with a goat and another goat. And then you look down that way and there's the house, and you can see all these flower beds and all the bushes and trees and everything. I have a lot that I have to trim around, and the front yard is just as trimmer heavy as the rest of it. And because of the fuel tank on this trimmer, I usually have to fill it up twice in order to finish. I run out of gas before I'm done. So my old steel, and admittedly the steel that I had a bigger engine and a much larger fuel tank. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. You just have to stop and refill it. The other thing is this doesn't, pretty much when you're using this, you have to keep it on full throttle all the time. You can't do a whole lot at half throttle. Now, my old trimmer you could. This one, it's full throttle when you're using it. And, you know, again, that's not anything that's wrong with the trimmer. It's just different from the one I had before. The only other issue I really have with it is the head on it is not as big as the one that was on my steel, and when you wrap the trimmer cord in it, I seem to run out of trimmer cord rather quick. Now I think part of that is I'm using some very old steel trimmer cord that I've had the bulk package of for like 20 years, and I think it's starting to dry rot, age, and so it's not working as efficiently. But other than that, I mean, the thing works great. It starts easily. I don't have any trouble using it. I do wish it had a bigger fuel tank though, and if I had to do it again, I would probably buy a Husqvarna, but I would probably buy the bigger motor one. But at the time, this was a great deal, so that's what I got, and it does the job. So let me get everything set up, and we'll go ahead and swap this trimmer head out and give it a test run. I think it's going to be much more efficient for us, so I'll be back with that. All right, so to remove this head, you don't need to take it apart. You've got a hole. Let's see if I can show this to you. Right here, there's a hole that goes through that and down into that housing right there. And so what we got to do, see if I can get all this held where I can show you. Oh, all right. So we're going to take an Allen wrench. This is a 5/32, and stick it down in there, and then you turn this head until you feel it lock in. See, now you cannot turn this. Now this is left-handed thread, so you need to turn it lefty-loosey. Right? It's not lefty-loosey, righty-tighty on this. It's righty-loosey. So get that in there, and then you can just spin the head off. There we go. So that's off. Pull our little wrench out, lay this down. Let me It's very difficult to hold the camera and use your hands at the same time. So get this back down here. All right. So we got this head off, and we're just going to set this aside in the shed because there's nothing wrong with it. It still works. It's just, it's out of string, and in order to load it back up, you have to take it all apart and pull this reel out, and then physically put the string on the reel, put it back in. It's time consuming and a kind of a pain in the butt, and it always seems to happen when I'm in the middle of cutting grass and I don't feel like stopping and doing all that. So now we're going to use this one. So the directions say we need to first take it apart. So it's got tabs on each side. We got to push in and kind of pop this up. I did notice they put a little slot in here so you can get a screwdriver in there, which was actually kind of nice of them. So we'll pop that up out of the way, and then you can see it's got a spring and then a hex-shaped hole in the center. So what we have to do is find one of these adapters that fits the shaft, and that one is definitely not going to fit. No. That one doesn't fit. Alright, so that's the one we're looking for. And we're going to drop this in there. Alright, again, backwards threaded, so don't, you know, it's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey like normal, it's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. And then it says to take this contraption and just drop it back on here and get it down on there like so. Okay, so now we've got that installed. That's all there was to it. Pretty easy. Now let's see about loading it with some trimmer string. So we got our string here. Got to cut off these little tags that are holding it together. All right. So, to load the string in this, we have to take and turn this so that these arrows are lined up with these arrows here. And then we take our string and feed it through the side, through the little hole in the side. And it'll come out the other side, and we pull it through until we get the orange part in the center, just like that. So you got a little orange on each side. And then supposedly, I believe we can just turn the knob and yep. So apparently you can press this down and just spin it in the direction of the arrows. And automatically pull all of the cord up in there. Now obviously this is going a little slow right now, but I can tell you that right there is much faster than trying to pull the spool out of here and restring it. So now I'm going to go out here and give it a try and see how it does. So let me get it filled up with gas and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our new head on there, and we'll crank this thing up and see how it does. All right, well, it trims and it auto feeds like it's supposed to, so that right there I think will be just fine. Now, you know, how long is it gonna last? Well, that's a good question, because it is Chinese, and I know when I ordered it, it had a lot of good reviews, so hopefully it'll last a good long time. One other thing I was going to show y'all on this, so if you'll notice, some people have reported having trouble getting this handle to stay tight. So I'm going to show you what I did to make that happen. This. Okay, so in the instructions it tells you to take this metal tab, and you can see this cutout here where that's supposed to lay down there, and then you put it on the wing nut right there. What I did was, a little bit farther down in there is a slot, and you can jam the tab into that slot. You can see the slot right there, and you can see the end of the tab down in there. So I jammed the tab into that slot and then got it folded over here and onto the stud. I had to kind of tweak it a little bit, but it got in there and got on there, and so now this thing is tight. It does not move at all. So if you're having trouble keeping that damn handle tight, see if you've can get your tab down into that slot there and get it worked over on there, and it'll work a lot better for you. So yeah, I just thought of that when I was doing the trimming. So that's it, just a little update on the trimmer. A new trimmer head I just wanted one of the easy load ones. And when I bought this trimmer, I wanted to buy this but with the easy load head already on it, but they didn't have any. I couldn't find one anywhere in stock, so now I have an easy load head and a whole box of, we got a whole box of the strings for it. They were like $4. It was cheap. And once I run out of these, when I get down to like the last one, I'll save it and use it as a template. These are 0.095 inch strings, and this is 0.095 string. So just cut out pieces off of the roll once these are used up to wind up in there. But yeah, it should be good. So appreciate y'all watching, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a good one.